If burnout were a mistake, it would have been fixed by now. But it hasn't been. Because exhaustion isn't a bug, it's a feature. If you're tired all the time, that's not a personal failure. That's a system working exactly as intended. And the longer you blame yourself for it, the more valuable you become to it. You're not lazy. You're not unmotivated. You're not broken. You're responding exactly how a human body responds to constant demand with no real recovery. If rest doesn't fully work anymore, if motivation feels thinner than it used to, that's not weakness. That's adaptation. You're told burnout is about mindset, that if you were more disciplined, more organized, more resilient, you'd be fine. Another routine, another system, another app. But here's the tell. If those solutions worked, burnout would be shrinking. Instead, it's everywhere, which means the explanation is wrong. Modern work systems don't measure well-being. They measure output. They don't track how much something costs you, only that it gets done. Productivity metrics reward speed, availability, and tolerance for pressure, not recovery, not limits, not sustainability. Hustle culture didn't emerge organically. It emerged because constant effort is cheaper than structural change. When one person absorbs the work of two, the system calls it efficiency. Here's the loop. Work expands, quietly. Expectations rise without permission. You push to keep up. Then exhaustion sets in, not dramatic, just constant. Your output slips slightly. And that's where the trap closes. You blame yourself. You assume you are the variable that needs fixing. So you compensate. Longer hours, less rest, more self-monitoring. You try to solve exhaustion with more output, and the loop tightens. The system applies pressure. You internalize the cost. Now zoom out. Burnout isn't rare. The World Health Organization officially classifies burnout as an occupational phenomenon, not a personality flaw, not a motivation issue, a work-caused condition. And here's the part that matters. In large organizations, stress-related burnout costs hundreds of billions of dollars every year in lost productivity and healthcare, which means this problem is already priced in. Healthcare systems treat the fallout without touching the cause. Productivity tools sell you systems to survive workloads that keep expanding. Pharmaceutical companies monetize symptoms, fatigue, anxiety, sleep disruption, created by chronic overextension. And the self-optimization industry? It grows by teaching you how to endure conditions no human nervous system evolved for. Everyone gets paid after you break. Almost no one gets paid to reduce the pressure. That's not negligence. That's a business model. So why doesn't this change? Because burnout is framed as a personal issue, on purpose. If it's your mindset, there's nothing to regulate. If it's your resilience, there's nothing to redesign. Fixing the system would mean hiring more people, lowering output expectations, accepting less short-term efficiency, and that costs money. So instead, the cost is transferred, quietly, consistently, onto individuals. This doesn't mean nothing can change. It means the problem isn't you. You don't fix burnout by optimizing yourself into something inhuman. You fix it by seeing the incentives clearly and refusing to confuse endurance with virtue. Rest isn't laziness. Limits aren't failure. You don't need more motivation. You need fewer lies. You're not lazy. You're not broken. The system is just very efficient. Subscribe, because the next stories aren't about fixing yourself. They're about the incentives that made you tired in the first place.